Hello friends, I am Vikram from eZeon Technologies. Welcome to my Spring Framework project work series. In my previous video session, I discussed about the modular view planning using JSP include tag, and in this current video I am going to talk about the login related task. And let's begin. So my first task in this series will be user login service I have to revise. So I have to check the business logic implementation for the login operation, where I will write the logic for authentication using the given login name and password. So I have to revise the user service here, and then I will prepare two pages, which is admin dashboard and user dashboard. So these two pages will be displayed after user login, and I will link these two pages from the user controller, because all these two pages are related to the users. Now then I will talk about the login form, and we required login command. We required a command to work with the form, and I will be using here form tag library from the Spring, right? And then I will show the error messages properly through the JSTL Core Tag library. And then once user is successfully logged in, we need to prepare the we need to bind the logged in user to the current session, because if you are not assigning user to the session, you cannot identify who is currently logged in. So to identify the current user who is logged in the system, you have to bind that user to the session. So this is very important step. And now at last, we required multiple pages. We required multiple menus according to the role, because when admin is logged in, he will see different set of menus. When general user is logged in, he will see different menu options, and when guest user is coming to the system, he will see the different options. Guest user means the person who is not logged in. So that is the first page of your application. So all the before login pages are referred as guest user pages, right? So let's begin from the first point, and I will cover all these points in multiple videos. So just follow the series properly, one by one you will get all these things. So let's talk about the user service revision in the first video. So come to this, and here we have all the services organized here. Just a minute. We have service package here. Can you see that service? Yes, this is my service package, and we have user service here, right? This is the user service, this is register method, this is login. And let's have a look at the code for the login. So go to the implementation from this. Yes, we have implementation, but this implementation is not complete. So let me complete this implementation. So before going to start writing the code here, you should just read the documentation. Accordingly you can write the code. So look at this. The method handles login operation. Okay, it's a authentication job using given credentials. Okay, username password is nothing but your credentials. It returns user object when successfully logged in, and when it is failed you will get null. Okay, great. And one more option is there. When user account is blocked, an exception will be thrown by this method. Great. Look at this. So these are the two details you have to pass here, and you will get the user object for success and null for failed, and you will get this exception. Now these are the points you have to remember while implementing this method. So to do the implementation, you need to write a SQL query here. So let's begin. So this is the query. Select. I'm going to access here user ID. I'm going to fetch the user ID from database. User ID, name of the user, phone number, and username, phone, email, then address column, then role I required, and login status I required, and one more column, it's a login name I required, right? Password I'm not going to access here. So these many columns I will fetch here, and let me write here in second line, from user table, where I'm going to use named parameter here. So this is where login name equals to ln, and password equals to pw is representing password. So these are the named parameters ln and pw, right? Now you have to bind these you have to bind values for named parameter using this map. So these are the parameters for your query, and this is my has map, and import this map from utility package. It is already imported, no problem. Now bind the value here, put, so this is ln, and bind the login name here, and this is password, and this is pw, right? So we have bind these things. Now I'm going to execute this query using the named parameter JDBC templates. So get the object from parent class, get named parameter JDBC template dot query for object. So why query for object? Because this query will return a single record, because you are accessing the data using this login name, and there is only single record bind with the login name, because login name is a unique key. So that's why you will get a single record always for from this query if found, right? So query for object means you will get one record, and this is your map, and you required here row mapper. So user table you are using, so you will get here user row mapper. So user row mapper you will get here, which will provide you a user. So this is the user you will get from this method. Now you have to check the rules for the implementation. So you will get this user if it is successful, and if it is failed you have to return null. So write a small logic here, say exception, and I'm using here, just a minute, let me generate some code here. So I have got this not data access exception. I'm going to handle one important exception here, which is it's empty result data access exception. So this exception will be thrown when there is no record returned by this query. So when there is no record returned, you will get this exception, and when there is no record found in database for the given username password, I will return here null, right? And if it is available, just return this user. So it's done. So this query will be executed here. This query will be executed using this statement, and you will get here object, user object, and if the user is not available, if there is no record matched, you will get here empty exception, empty result data access exception, and this will be null. Now one more thing I have to check before this, which is my blocked condition. So if user dot get logged in status dot equals, this is user service, we have one constant here which is representing the status. If the status is blocked, okay, if the status is blocked means then you have to throw an exception. So throw new user blocked exception. We have created this customized user defined exception in previous session. So now you can write one error message here. So your account has been blocked, and the suggestion will be contact to admin, right? So this will be the message displayed by your view. So this is fine. If everything is fine, then you can return this. Okay, this is all correct. So this is now fine. So the query will be executed. If the login status is blocked, this exception will be thrown. If the status is active, you will get this message, this user will be returned. Otherwise, if there is no record, you will get the null. So probably this logic is correct. You can test manually, in fact, but I'm not going to test right now because I just want to integrate this method from the view, and I will test it there, right? If anything goes wrong in this area, I will come back and revise it. So probably this is enough for this video discussion. And if you have not subscribed my channel, just subscribe it for getting more updates from my work. And thank you very much for watching. See you in next video.